Boom, we're live. And I'm going to go start the recording over here. Boom, recording over there. If I keep looking over here, my other monitor, for some reason, I decided that having them at 90-degree angles was a good idea. But it works most of the time, but sometimes for recording a podcast, it can look a little weird if we're on YouTube. So those of you who are listening, first off, good morning, Cam.
Hello. Hi. Greetings.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right.
I'm in a pretty good mood. Excited. It's been a little while since we recorded, so I'm excited about that. We should probably let the audience in on something that is really important for us to share. My website will probably be gone in January. Because I'm going to let the hosting, I think I'm going to keep the domain, but I'm going to let the hosting go for now. So what that means for us is that we will no longer have a place to host the audio for the site. And so we talked about it. I think Cam and I have agreed that rather than doing an audio podcast for the podcast, just because I think our listenership isn't huge. We do appreciate all of you who do listen, but it's not huge listenership. So we are going to move it to YouTube and see what happens with YouTube. We're excited for the opportunity. We're streaming live right now. I can definitely get got to make sure that I'm streaming to the right YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll have to check that later. But we're excited to take the opportunity to move the podcast onto YouTube and see if we can broaden the audience, see if there's anyone else that would like to watch the podcast. I think we're going to have fun doing this, and I have put a little bit of work into putting together a fun show, being able to have some capabilities that we don't have in audio, and we'll see how this goes. So you can search for Inner Dialogue on YouTube, and you should be able to find us. If I can get a link into the show notes today, I will do my best to do that. But you can see us handsome debonair men, as we talk about technology. But we can also
looking very northern Great Lakesy today. I'm in my flannel. You're in your LL Bean vest with the hoodie.
Yep. It's cold out there, man. It was 29 degrees this morning.
Yeah, this is on brand for
absolutely
late in the year for us.
Hey, we're a couple of Midwesterners, and we're not ashamed. So anyway, and we're drinking our coffee. I just realized
I called this flannel, and I'm going to get yelled at by people on the internet. It's not. It's like that thermal stuff.
Oh, you're wearing like a Henley.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I've got a few of them. I was wearing one yesterday, so perfect. But yeah, it's getting cold out, so we're starting to be bundle up weather. So
I love it.
Anyway, hey, I'm watching the Golden Girls.
What? How do you? Where are you even?
So Hulu has them all.
I have multiple questions. Mm-hmm. One, how? Two, why?
So first answer is Hulu.
Oh gosh!
And you just triggered balloons, so that's awesome.
Is it good? Does it hold up?
So, first question, Hulu. Secondly, my wife and I were looking for something to watch together, and I think when it comes to our TV diet, I think it's always important to have a show that is a half hour long that you can kind of fit in, wherever. So the episodes are about 24 minutes long, typically. And Golden Girls reminds my wife a little bit of her mom, because B. Arthur can be a little bit like her mother. So there's a little bit of nostalgia there. And you know what? There's certain things that probably don't hold up as well as they should. I mean, there was a show on homosexuality the other night that was that we were watching the other night on Golden Girls. Yeah, one of their longtime friends from years ago came out of the closet and was visiting, and of course they all had their reactions to it, and it was very, period reactions. So, but when it comes right down to it, I think for the most part it can be a little raunchy in spots in some people's opinions, at least for the first few seasons. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're prudish, I can definitely see how some of the stuff can be pretty bad, but it doesn't bother my wife and I really. And I think it's still funny. There's plenty of great gags in the show. It's really well written and really well acted, I think, for a sitcom. There are episodes where they deal with stuff that older ladies who have been widowed or divorced or, whatever the case is, like there's touching moments in the show that, you sit back and you're like, man, I never thought of that, but that's something that somebody that's that age living in Miami, might deal with and really struggle with. There's a couple of them, their husbands have died. Another one who divorced, her and her husband divorced because he was unfaithful to her. And there's a lot of emotions around that. He keeps popping up every so often. And, I think there's a lot of heart in the show, but there's there's just hilarious gags throughout the show as well. So I don't know. It's fun to watch. My wife and I enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks.
And Estelle Getty is a national treasure. She is amazing on that show. And the funny thing is she plays Dorothy's mom, B. Arthur's mom in that show, and they're all the same age. They just do her up to look a little older, but they're all the same age. And she's like that Spitfire old lady. Like I love women like that. It's just they just crack me up, and they're so much fun. So there's a special place in my heart for women like that.
All right.
My grandma was a little bit like that, so she could be a little Spitfire. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so yeah.
Very good.
Well, you had tossed a few ideas my way for the show today, and I think they're worth looking at. We are going to take a look at maybe some of the betas for some of the beta stuff for for iOS a little bit later. But you brought up Johnny Decimal, and I don't know what we're going for here. So you're gonna have to lead me through this. But
buckle up, Mitch. Okay, so
buckling up.
Assuredly, you've heard of the Dewey Decimal System.
I have heard of the Dewey Decimal System.
Yes, my books right. The Dewey Decimal System. I am a fan of organization, and I was trying to figure out a way to organize my notes in Obsidian that was more robust and had less friction than my current setup. Which is just the classic one folder for like all of the lessons I've ever made, in my 8 years in youth ministry. Well, that's a lot of lessons. That's a lot of assets that go with those lessons. So you've got, your slide deck, any video material, your handouts, your small group discussions, your actual research, and your actual, teaching outlines or transcripts across a variety of, topics, subjects, books. And that's just like one folder that has, thousands upon thousands of things in it. And then I've got, photos of my daughter and stuff like just the reason it kind of worked in Obsidian was because Master Search is insane, right? I can just type in a couple of words and with, a little bit of effort, I can find what I need, but that doesn't necessarily work very well in other areas. And I was looking for something to try and, what's the right way to say this? Like hit refresh on how I think about this stuff and how I organize my things. So that going forward, it's smoother sailing, and I feel more confident about where things are and why they're there. And this all started, probably 2 or 3 months ago when Federico talked about a different system, which we'll talk about briefly, called Forever Notes. And he mentioned it in one of his Club Mac Stories newsletters that they send out every week to members of Club Mac Stories. And so I started with this because I was looking for a way to get into journaling, to get back into that, as well as organizing my notes. And so Forever Notes, as you can see here, Mitch is showing you the home screen, is based in Apple Notes, and it's a way to track notes on your different projects, your different areas. You have a calendar for all your journaling stuff, and it uses, all of the newest features in Notes to do backlinks and all that sort of stuff. And you can actually download the template. It's free to use. You get all of the the guy that made this went through and made a note for every day, for every month, for every quarter, and you can pick and choose how much of the system you actually want to use and how much you don't. And so I started out with this, and it got me into using Notes more. And I was also thinking, one of the reasons I tried this was because I was also going to use the audio recording and transcript stuff that's new to Notes in iOS 18, especially for sermon notes and stuff. It's like, well, if I'm going to try that, then I might as well try doing this other stuff in here too, just to give it a shot. And I did it for about a month, and then I realized this has to be an Obsidian for me. I can't. Notes is too restrictive. The rich text stuff is too annoying. It was too rigid, and then getting stuff out of Notes is really, really hard. Whereas with Obsidian, it's just a markdown file. So if one day Obsidian goes away and I need to switch to Bear, I grab my entire Notion vault and I just add it to Bear, and all of my notes are there in the exact same format because it's markdown, right? Whereas getting stuff out of Notes is just a pain in the butt. And really, that rich text, especially on the phone, is really, really, there's just way too many taps, but it was not a good user experience for me. But this being a really lightweight, free, and well thought through platform might be useful to folks that are looking for a tool like this to try out. So anyways, that led me from Forever Notes to Johnny Decimal. Do you have any questions so far, Mitch? I don't want to talk for the next 12 minutes. Okay. And Johnny Decimal is much more granular in its approach. And it's the guy that made this his name's Johnny. Decimal's not his real last name, shockingly, I know.
Crazy.
And he's a British guy living in Australia, so his accent's awesome. And some of the videos, and he's a Bear evangelist, so all of the videos on the site are about how to use it in Bear and that sort of stuff. But it works in any Markdown app. And the idea is that you have areas, categories, and IDs, and you use your Note app, in my case Obsidian, as the index for everything. And so you can see here on the screen how we've got what does it say? Core concepts is 11. So that would be, area would be 10 through 19 concepts. The category is 11 core concepts, and then the ID is 11.01 introduction. So your area is the first digit, your category is the first 2 digits, and then your ID is the 2 digits after the decimal point. And so this allows you to have folders at each of those 3 levels, and then in that ID folder in your Notes app, you can have all your notes about that. But then in your file system, you have the same structure, and any files that go with that ID live there. You can do the same in your email, the same in your task manager. And so currently, if I'm looking at my system, I can go to 11.83, which is my library. And in things, that's where all of my, hey, I want to read this book. I want to take a look at this article. I want to listen to this podcast episode. Here's a movie that I want to watch. Here's 2 books I want to buy. That sort of stuff lives there in things. Right now, I don't have anything in 11.83 in my Finder. my file system. Nor do I have anything in there in my email. But if I were to get an email that I wanted to read later, I could store it in that folder in my email, and then also link to it or create a linked note to that in Things as well, so that I can put a to-do date on it as if I want. Another example would be like I just got my new health insurance for me and my daughter starts January 1st. And so in 11.21, I have in Finder, I have my health insurance documents for what we're currently using. And then I also have my health insurance documents that start January 1st. And I will have this, and it's all dated. And then if I need to make a doctor's appointment for my daughter, 11.23 is primary care. And so in my note for primary care in Obsidian, I have all the information for my daughter's primary care doctor: name, address, email, fax, phone, all that stuff, any notes that I've gotten, and then any prescriptions or diagnoses or whatever, I would take pictures, and that would go into Finder under that. So everything is incredibly searchable in Obsidian, Things, and Finder, but everything is also listed. And the idea is top down. You just start at the top in the first category that makes sense. You then find the ID that makes the most sense. And so like things get more specific the further you go down. So like in one of the categories, you've got like friends, and then you have events, and then you have like events with friends. And so like the friends one is just like information about your friends, when their birthdays are, what some of their favorite things to do is, that sort of stuff. Events are like, work Christmas party, or we're going to go do a Super Bowl watch, downtown. And then like events with friends is like birthday parties, anniversary parties that are specific to your friends. So like the further down you go, the more granular the IDs get. And so it's kind of like a funnel system. You find the right area and the right category, and then you work through the IDs until you find the one that matches the best. And it's really expandable. It's pretty neat and very nerdy, but I'm finding it to be quite useful to help me organize all of the stuff that I just, especially like in my iCloud drive, stuff is just everywhere. So I'm finding it particularly useful in going through what I have, because it's also helping me find stuff that like I haven't used this in 5 years, and I'm not gonna, this is just junk. So I'm able to clean out stuff as well. So, do a little spring cleaning in the fall, and then get things organized. And one of the beauties is like the more that I use this and the more that I'm putting stuff into the system, the less work it becomes. Because now I'm not, because it's like when you move house, it's a ton of work. But then once you're in your house and you know where everything goes, when you get something new, you just slot it in, right? So that's the way I'm thinking about it. And it's been fun. I've been working on it for about a month. And I shouldn't say like all the time. Like I've probably put like 7 or 8 hours into this over the last month. And it's already providing benefits to me. So, yeah, I thought, this might be a topic for the nerds that listen to our show that might pique some of their interests.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about all that, Mitch?
Well, I think it's interesting. It reminds me a little bit of my my file system rules that I use. All of my files, when I save them with a date at the beginning, starting with year, month, and day. Yep. So that way, and that works. So like we're recording today, so I would save the file for our for the audio for this, as we're still doing audio. I would save that under 2024 11/12. And then give it the designation. I usually put like IDP for Inner Dialogue Podcast. And then if it's the final version, I'll put final after that, and then save that out that way. So I have the date, which I can, even if I don't know the exact date, if I'm searching for it, I can put in 2024-11 because I know it was in November, and it will still bring up a fairly decent list of like all the files that I saved during this month, and help me narrow it down. So
Yeah.
so it works really nice for searching. Searching is probably one of the most magical things that we do with just file name systems and things like that. And I definitely see how this could be useful. I don't know how useful it would be for me, but I definitely see how this would be useful, because I don't save the stuff that you save out as granularly as you do. So, but if I may need to make a note, I make a note. But generally speaking, I don't save all of that information. We have other ways to look that up. So, all right.
What you got for us next?
Well, you talked about Johnny Decimo and Forever Notes. You wanted to ask me about the hearing tests in
Yes,
iOS
my
18.1.
AirPods Pro are the first version. So I don't get this fancy hearing test that you get with the second edition of the AirPods Pro. So yeah, I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
So I did the test the first day that it was available, the first day that I had it, and I'm not terribly convinced that it was accurate. I want to go back and do it again. I have heard some people say that they did it a second time and got different results. Just because like early on, maybe the AirPods didn't have all the stuff in them right away. So that's the theory, at least, is that they weren't quite ready. And so you're forcing it through and it's not working properly. So, I want to go back and do it again, but it came up and said that I didn't have any hearing loss, or that it was minor to none is how it grouped it. But but realize this is a few different things. It's actually not only the what am I trying to think here? It's not just the hearing loss or the hearing test and help with that, but it's also hearing protection. They have a feature in there for hearing protection. So a lot of people that I've heard talk about this, like if they go to a concert, they are wearing their AirPods Pro 2 at the concert and using transparency mode, because transparency mode actually limits the audio, or limits the volume that can come in. Yeah. So they're using those in place of hearing protection, and it works really well. Apparently, I haven't tried it that way, but I did use them. And at a movie, we went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and that theater was so loud. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try this and see what happens. And that movie was super enjoyable. I put my AirPods Pro 2 in, set them to transparency mode, and sat and watched that movie. And every so often I would pull one out just to see the difference. And it was a drastic difference between the volume that I was hearing and the volume that was being played. Now, what you do miss out on is directional audio. You know, you lose a little bit of what direction the audio is coming from. But all in all, you know, I like my hearing, and so I can give up some things to protect my hearing. So
yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to do the test? Do you remember?
It's about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take long at all.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what your results are after you get your second opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll have to do that sometime. So we also wanted to talk about, like, I've messed around with Image Playgrounds just a little bit, and you made a suggestion before we started the show that I should make an image of myself in a Detroit Lions jersey. So
yes, please.
So I gave it a try, and it came up. It was decent. Obviously, it doesn't look like they can use the actual logos and such, but
No,
but it
that's
came
a
up
pretty
with,
good generic version of the lion. That
Yeah.
outline.
so it turned out all right. And, it looks like maybe I'm in a locker room or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but maybe I want to be in a rainforest. Let's try that once. Have a Lions jersey on in the rainforest.
True king of the jungle. Mitch
There you
Craig,
go,
folks.
So it looks like I'm doing a selfie too.
Dude,
You can see my
It
arm.
looks like your head in the character mode is the same size as my head in real life.
So it does give you a few different options, much like something like Midjourney does. That's not too bad. The jersey isn't, at least, or the shirt. The hair gets me because the source
look
image
like
it's
you
using
just got shocked.
the source image that it's using it has me with hair. So let's see. Let's choose another photo. Now I'm going to be embarrassed because I have a ton of photos of myself. So let's try this image and see what it does. Okay, that's interesting. So still with hair. All right. Let's go back here and see with a new image of myself what we get.
He looks angry.
Now he looks angry, yeah. But with the same crazy hair. So
biting some kneecaps.
Yeah. Well, I had a little bit more of a serious look on my face in the photo that we're using. So what I wish is that I had a picture of you in here and I could get a picture, or I could do Image Playground with you and me in the picture, but it doesn't seem to want to do that.
Oh, with multiple people?
With multiple people, yeah. Because I tried one with me and my wife, but it only really allows one picture to be selected. But
interesting.
Let's see
what other options we got.
Let's try me as an astronaut in a Lions jersey.
Folks, I just want you to know, if you're new to the show, Mitch is being a great sport because not only does he live in Wisconsin, but he's a huge Packers fan.
Yes.
So he is indulging me greatly right now, and I appreciate that.
So there's me as an astronaut with a Lions, I guess, suit on.
Your Lions spacesuit, man.
Yep.
Super fan.
Yep.
Taking the pride to space.
All right. I'm not thinking that that's going to work in space.
Yeah. Well, that looks more like you're at the barbershop and getting your perm cooked.
Yeah. Realize I still got the jungle background, the rainforest background in the background. So,
well,
yeah,
space jungles, they exist somewhere.
Well, maybe let's add a Halloween theme to it too.
Gosh.
Let's see how crazy we can get this.
Ugh.
All right. So I'm not seeing much Halloween-y there.
But go back to the first one.
It's night now, so
your chin is like hanging on the. It's like choking you.
Man, I hope that planet that I'm on has breathable air, because otherwise I'm dead.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is going to make for a great audio podcast. I'm just saying that.
We can put a link to the YouTube.
Yep. I'm probably going to have to save one of these images out for the cover. But let's save this one out for the cover. So, all right, save image. Okay. So
now, does it only do square?
Yes. I
So
don't think there's any way to do
it. 16 by 9 or 9 by 16.
It doesn't give me options for that. No.
I'm sure it will in the future, but I was just curious now. Okay.
But I can give it a thumbs up. Yay, thumbs up.
Good job, Image Playground.
I don't know why.
Here's a piece of candy.
Yeah. And I don't think I have any pictures of you in here, so I don't know that I can actually do a picture.
I can. Let me send you one real quick. I want to be made into something silly.
By the way, I did an image of my sister, if you guys caught that. And it is absolutely perfect. It looks exactly like my sister. Almost creepy.
All right, I'm going to send you, it's just this, send to Mitch. I hate this picture of myself, but it's the most recent one that I have.
All right, so it did just disconnect. So let me grab that picture real quick. And
have you had any connectivity issues with using iPhone mirroring? Because when it first came out, mine struggled to stay connected, and it would just drop connection pretty easily.
I think it can disconnect when you pick up, like I picked up the phone to use it and it disconnected.
Right. But like then it wouldn't connect again. Like
Oh.
it would just refuse to connect. Even if it was, face down and locked, it would just struggle to connect.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like when it first shipped in the beta. So I'm hoping it's, obviously a lot better. And I haven't tried it in a while, so.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to make sure that it comes up as you. But anyway, let's give this a try. All right. Got to lock the phone and then click connect. All right, let's go to Image Playgrounds.
Meow.
Right. So let's grab. Oh, it's not going to have you in there. Appearance. Nope. I don't know what this is now. Let's see. Let me see if I can search for cam.
What about that little outcut, the little human outline to the right?
I just clicked on that and it just pulls up people that I already have in. Oh, here, choose a photo. So, whoops. Here's again. I just saved you, so you should be in here. Choose a photo. Let's go with all. There we go. Now we got you in there.
Boy.
And make you. We'll put you in space.
Oh my gosh. Oh, disco in space, please.
This disco in space. All right, we can do that.
Oh my God, I look like such a nerd.
All it does is add a
that outfit will not work.
At a disco ball.
Space disco. It's not nearly bedazzled. Oh my gosh. It doesn't look anything like me.
Well,
I mean, the head size is accurate.
If somebody was going to make a cartoon version of you, that's not super far off. Doesn't look exactly like
the clothing's awful. We got to change that.
I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. All right, so let's show more. Let's see what options we've got here. So costumes. What can we do for costumes? Let's make you a robot.
A disco space robot. I like this.
All right, it's building. That is not that good.
There's nothing robotic about it.
No. I don't know what it's trying to do here. I have used headphones make you a robot, apparently.
Oh my gosh. 0000001 000000111.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. All right, let's drop the robot.
Yeah.
How about a chef? Let's see what it'll do if I make you a chef. Hey, now this looks promising.
Oh,
hey!
Bonjour, mes amis. Bienvenue à mi restaurant.
Yeah, cooking in the disco in space. Chef.
Have you tried the space lobster?
Chef's kiss.
Sacre bleu. Oh, I look like a Anthony Bourdain wannabe.
Oh, I'm saving that image. That's great.
Well, you know what weirds me out about this?
Yeah.
Is it looks more like my uncle.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's freaking me out, because I don't think I look anything like my uncle,
Yeah.
my mom's brother. And this would be a much, in my opinion, a much more accurate caricature of him, which is why I think I reacted the way I did. I should have sent you a different picture. What do we got here now?
I'm making you a superhero in space.
Okay, I'm here for that.
All right.
Hello, I want to do your taxes.
You know, if you're not watching the video, you're missing out, guys. I'm just saying. This is too funny.
Oh my god.
Oh, I
Hey
like that.
I'm Mr. IT. How can I help?
Mr. IT. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
That's hilarious.
At least I can breathe in space, I guess. I don't need a silly helmet like your guy did. Oh, well, I know what I'm going to waste some time on today.
Yeah, this is I'm having way more fun doing this with you than when I was sitting
I'm gonna
around
make some
messing with them
ridiculous
on my own.
ones of my daughter. I think we're going to play with this when she gets home from school. She'll get a kick out of it.
I feel like maybe you need some sunglasses. Let's see. In space, things get bright.
This is true. All the UV radiation.
Oh, that's great.
Hello. I failed my Men in Black application test.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh my gosh. Hey man.
Look at that hair.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my gosh. I think
I like
I
that
think
one
the
too.
third one is my favorite.
You like the third one?
With the stupid hair.
And it looks like you almost kind of have a hoodie on with the cape.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
It's hilarious.
that's definitely like, well, I'm not going to say what it is. He lives in a certain group of states that allow certain activities to occur legally. Let's go get some White Castle, bro.
Nice.
Oh, this is fun. All right.
Yeah. So anyway,
now we'll link to the.
say that again. Up, your audio cut out again. I think it's when I'm switching to different scenes here that it's cutting out. Okay, I got you back.
Okay. I was going to say now we should link to that article on Mac Stories from a couple months ago when Federico absolutely slams generative AI as not art and stuff. Not that we would consider that art, but it was funny.
Yeah, it was good for a gig. So, I have played around a little bit with the Genmoji, but I'm still struggling to get what I want out of Genmoji.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one. I played around with the digital the image playground like 5 minutes 2 or 3 days ago when I first got access, and I haven't even messed with the Genmoji yet.
I'm looking to see if I can. No, I think I think you actually have to go into. No, it's not letting me do it connected here. So,
You know what I would love?
I will just not.
I would to circle back to the folks that are listening on audio and not watching on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to know what you think the pictures looked like based on how we were describing them. I don't know how you would do that.
Yep.
But maybe you happen to be a talented artist and would like to come up with your submission for what you thought it looked like. Definitely the more realistic way would be to picture in your mind what you thought it looked like, and then go back and watch the video and see how close or different your vision in your mind was based off of our, I'll say it, amazing descriptions.
Yes.
Versus what Image Playground produced.
Yeah.
That could be a fun game.
Yeah. What we're gonna get is a bunch of stick figures with capes.
Hey, stick figures make me look skinny, so I'll take it.
Okay. You know what? That's not a bad way to look at it. Excellent. Well, do you have anything else that we wanted to talk about on the show today?
Things that are delighting me, sure. I always like ending on a positive note. If that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm. Although, I think we have a problem. Hold on a sec.
Sounds ominous.
Yeah. I wonder if the switcher that I'm using, the Ecamm Live, messed with Adobe Audition, because as it appears on here, Adobe Audition stopped recording at 7 minutes 50 seconds. So, but thankfully, I can just download this video and strip the audio out of it. So,
I was gonna say,
yep, there's options. So,
backups of backups of backups.
Yeah, we still have options. So,
fabulous.
All right. Well, we can definitely take a look at what's delighting us today. I've been having so much fun with the video, I forgot about our little audio clips. So, Cam, I'll let you start because you've got a couple things listed in here, and what I have listed in here is not currently what's delighting me. So I'm gonna have to come up with something. So go ahead.
All right. So first things up, I have two things that are delighting me. The first is the Detroit Lions, because they are now 8-1 for the first time, maybe forever. The last time they were 7-1, it was 1956, before both of my parents were born. And this past week, they played in Houston against the Texans, and our quarterback threw 5 interceptions. 5.
Mm-hmm.
And we still won the game.
That should not be able to happen.
We were down 23-7 at halftime, and we did not give up a single point in the second half. We had 2 interceptions and a bunch of 3-and-outs. We held Joe Mixon to 40 yards rushing, and he's been an absolute monster this whole season. He was so frustrated that at one point he came off the field and he chucked his helmet at the bench as hard because he couldn't get 2 feet without getting tackled. So your defense is doing a good job when the star running back is breaking his equipment on the side because he's so frustrated. But it's just, the Lions used to be a team for the majority of my life that would find ways to lose games.
Mm-hmm.
They would have the lead. They would lose it on a last second field goal. Like the list of ways the Lions found to lose football games over the years is as long as it is creative. It would be funny if it weren't so sad and
Mm-hmm.
annoying. And so for that, obviously not the same team, right? Same stadium, same colors, same name, different organization from top to bottom completely over these last 4 years. And they are now a team that finds ways to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that's the offense blowing a team out. Like we beat Tennessee like 52-12 or something stupid like that. Or no, 52-14, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then this week, the offense up until the fourth quarter couldn't do much. We couldn't run the ball. We had 2 tip balls for interceptions and then a Hail Mary interception at the end of the half, which I know that one counts, but in the stats it does, but in the game it doesn't because it's the last play of the game or last play of the half. And we couldn't run. And then in the fourth quarter, we just ran the ball all over the Texans. But the defense, like I said, didn't give up a single point. And they got 2 takeaways. So just as a lifelong Lions fan, it is a weird but welcome feeling to have confidence in the team that they're gonna find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
And boy, that's enjoyable.
Yeah. So I want to share from a Packers fan's point of view, two things. First off, you're not wrong when you talk about the way the Lions were, because pretty much as a Packer fan, we always knew we could put a W in the column, when the season started. You're like, yeah, we got that. We got those two games. So, and then probably, was it 6 or 7 years ago, we're like, oh, maybe not, because they can be trouble for us, because they started like beating us in games that we thought that we should win. And so, and then as the years have gone, they've gotten better and better. And now, you guys beat us pretty good this last time. We still got a game left with you yet this season. So, but the funny thing, I almost feel bad saying this because it sounds really condescending, but as a Packer fan, we're all kind of like, go Lions, way to go, guys. You guys deserve it. You guys have sucked for so long. It's, go for it. And it's like, as much as we want the Packers to win, I think generally speaking, I can't speak for, Vikings fans and Bears fans, because we're all in the same division. Mm-hmm. I can't speak for them, but I think generally speaking, there's not a lot of hate for the Lions. We're all, it's like that, a younger brother that we're just like, hey, way to go, buddy. Yeah, go ahead and beat me this time. It's all right.
Yeah. The consensus that I've seen generally in comments on Lions articles across various, sports news websites is, one, who wouldn't want to play for Dan Campbell?
Mm-hmm.
And two, I'm a lifelong enter team here fan, but I'm rooting for Lions. Let's go. 4 exclamation points. And every once in a while you get a troll in there that's like, oh, Jared Goff sucks. He's the worst quarterback in the league. Look at what he did on Sunday. It's like, yeah, okay, great. He had a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 games before that were the best stretch of any quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me he's the worst quarterback in the league when he holds the NFL all-time record for completion percentage and quarterback rating across a 6-game streak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just, so like those people you just have to ignore because they're just out to ruin people's days and, spread their sadness. But yeah, to your point, the amount of outpouring of like support and people like getting on the bandwagon, even though they're like, oh, I'm a lifelong Giants fan or a lifelong, Raiders fan or whatever. But then like everyone is happy to see, a decades long slump, turnaround, and they play fun football. Like they're a fun team to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my first thing. And then more tech related. I picked this up about a week ago. It's the GameSir G8 Plus controller, and it doesn't have a USB connector, so it's Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm.
And it expands big enough to fit an iPad mini.
Okay.
And it's compatible with iOS, Android, and the Switch. And it's like the Joy-Cons on the Switch I hate because they're so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And like my hands aren't enormous, but they're pretty big. And those little Joy-Cons, it's like they're so crappy. And these have full, you get what I'm saying. Yeah. These have full, like much more sturdy, thick grips that my hands can actually wrap around.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has these back triggers that you can map to any button you want, which is pretty nice, depending on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got Hall effect Joy-Cons, and then you can, depending on what you're playing, you can set the depth at which you have to hit the triggers for like your FPS games.
Yeah.
And it connects super easy. I haven't had any battery issues. I've played Call of Duty, Madden 25, both on the iPhone and the iPad, and then I've been playing FIFA 24 Switch on this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so. I mean, it's like this compared to the Joy-Cons is the precision and control you have is so much better. The grip is better. The other cool thing you can do is because those games have different ABXY layouts, you can pop this guy off
Mm-hmm.
the control, and then these just are magnetized, so you can pop them off and you can move them to match the Switch layout or like the Xbox layout.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also comes with 3 additional Joy-Con or joysticks,
Yeah.
different sizes, different like textures as well. And I think I got it for like $70 or $80.
Yeah. That's not bad.
No, well, considering its compatibility too, and then you can also wire in. So if I wanted to play a game on my iPad Pro, I could just USB-C to USB-C wire in like that. I think it might support PC as well, but don't quote me on that. And the box is over there, and I don't want to get up and go get it. But it feels sturdy. Like some of these stretchy, expandables could feel really flimsy. This one doesn't feel flimsy whatsoever. We'll see how it holds up, but it has been fun to be able to play my Switch handheld and not just be continually frustrated with how flimsy the Joy-Cons feel, how tiny they are, and how inaccurate their joysticks can be.
Yeah. That's the one thing that I don't like about the Backbone that I have is that doesn't and it's only by like a couple of inches. It doesn't expand far enough to fit the iPad Mini.
Yeah, so I got a Backbone probably like 2 years ago, but it has a Lightning connector in it, so it's completely obsolete now. And so that was one of the reasons I went with this one, because there's another version of the G8 called the Galileo, and that has a USB-C port here. Which would also then make it not compatible with the Switch because the Switch's USB-C's on the bottom, right? And so I got burned by the Backbone once the iPhone switched to USB-C, and that's not Backbone's fault.
Right.
They made the controller probably a year or two before I bought it, when Lightning was, the foreseeable future. So I'm not mad at like them. It's just the circumstances, right? I bought it at a time where I only got to use it for a year, and so because of that, I went with this Bluetooth version. So unless Bluetooth goes away, this should be compatible as long as this thing stays, working.
Yeah, it seems like a really good option.
So those are the things that are delighting me, Mitch. What about you?
Well, I have something that's delighting me, but I just want to. Have we talked about I bought a PS5 on the podcast? I'm pretty sure we discussed this at some point.
I think we did right after you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm still,
because we talked about Gran Turismo, and I'm jealous that you get to play that.
Oh my gosh. I've figured out how you can do live streaming right from the PS5. So yeah.
Really?
So I've been live streaming to my YouTube channel, and I've got a couple of videos up there. Like last night I played Trial Mountain with a Dodge Charger Hellcat that I've got all souped up. On the Daytona 500 Speedway, I got that up to 207 miles an hour. Yeah.
As one does.
That's fast. But the Trial Mountain is one that's in the US region that actually you can make some pretty good credits. So it's a good one to grind on if you're just looking to make a lot of credits to soup up vehicles. Because I souped up a Mustang to all the way up as far as I could go with it, as far as I can tell. I don't know that I can go much further with it. And I was able to get that up to about 201 miles an hour on the Daytona 500 track. But the Charger must be lighter. That's just how it feels. Because man, that thing takes off like a rocket ship when you put the gas pedal down. It's crazy how fast it accelerates.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that. The controller is still just killing me. Like, that controller is so good. The variable pressure that you can put on the triggers, because Gran Turismo uses the triggers for gas and brake. And so like when I'm playing Trial Mountain, I barely push the gas in a little bit as I'm going through the curves, just to give it a little gas. And I'm going up, 30 miles an hour when I do that. But then when I hit there's a couple of straightaways. When I hit the straightaways, I just mash that thing down and it takes off like a rocket ship. It's crazy. But just all the details that they put into this controller are just incredible. I'm really, really loving it.
My favorite, if I can interject here real quick,
yeah.
my favorite car to kit out or soup up was always the Nissan Skylines.
Okay.
Because you can get, like, I had multiple ones where they're over 1,000 horsepower. And, like, I never reached a top speed because at some point you got to turn, right?
Yeah.
But I've always loved those cars, and they were illegal in the U.S. for a very long time. They are not now, but just some of like the classic late 90s, early 2000s, the Skyline GTRs, you could just do some nasty things too.
Yeah, the Mitsubishi Lancer was a big one.
In
Evo, earlier games. That I just bought one of those. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I'm waiting for the opportunity to get on a rally track because
I was about to ask you if they have rally tracks in this one.
They should. I don't know that for sure, but they should. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But I'm basically souping up cars and having some fun right now before I work on getting my national A license so that I can open up some more tracks. But because I'm having difficulty with that one, so but I'll get there. We'll get that unlocked, and it's a lot of precision driving is what it comes down to. So it's just learning how to do it correctly. But on to what's actually delighting me today. Not that isn't, but I have been thinking about my everyday carry game for a little while. Just updating things, getting some new stuff. What I was doing for the longest time is I was using the Apple Wallet on the back of my phone, and that was starting to fall apart. Yeah, the leather was starting to come off of it. I've had it since the last phone that I had, so I think I've had it for probably like 3 years.
Okay.
And the leather was starting to peel off of it a little bit, and it was still sticking okay, and it was still working okay. But one thing I missed is the ability to carry cash with me, in it. If I wanted to carry more than 3 cards on me, it was kind of a thing. But I don't know if you're familiar with the Ridge minimal wallets.
Yes,
but
I've seen.
Yeah, they put out a MagSafe version. So, the unfortunate part is that it requires a little bracket on the back of it to stick real well. But once you stick it on, it does not come off. Part of it is because of the material that this is made out of. It's a little slick feeling. So if I put it on the back of my phone without that bracket on it, it sticks okay, but it comes off really easy and it shifts around real easy. So
interesting.
But the only thing that's really changed for me or made me adjust is when I charge it or when I put it on like a MagSafe charger or something like that, I have to take the case off of it. So, but I've adjusted to it. But one thing that I really wanted the ability to do is to be able to carry them separately. So phone in one pocket, wallet in another pocket. And for work, I have my pants have a little phone pocket down on the thigh. So that's typically how I carry it at work. But if I'm carrying it in jeans, I don't want to take up that much pocket space. So although that's pretty bulky on the back of my phone, it actually fits in my pocket just fine, and it doesn't really bother me that much. So it works okay. I've got like 5 cards in there right now. I could carry some cash in there. I've thought about carrying a couple of business cards from work in it. Which, by the way, I don't know why they cut them like that much too long to fit in a credit card holder. Drives me up the wall. But but throwing a couple of those in here or something like that might be nice. Just having the things on me that I need, rather than having to have a separate wallet that I keep in the car that has some extra cards in it. But I have my Costco card in here now, which I was carrying it separately or using the app for, and different things like that. So yeah, that's delighting me, and I really enjoyed it. And I bought it in a bundle where I got a keychain with it. So the little keychain lets you carry like 3 or 4 keys in it, and then it's like a little. I was using the Key Smart ones before that let you put a bunch of keys in them, and then there was like a little pocket knife to fold out the keys. Yeah. This one's the same concept, but it only holds them from one side, so it gives you the room for about 3 or 4 keys. So, which is all I really need to carry with me. So it actually opens up that pocket, because now the carabiner that I carry my my key fob on for my car now also can carry that little keychain, where the old Key Smart was too big and bulky to be able to put on there. So now with the 2 of them on there, that opens up that pocket to be able to put other stuff in instead of having my keys sitting in the bottom of that pocket. So gives me a little bit more space and makes it a little easier to carry everything. So I'm super happy with that. I didn't realize how much it would please me to have that set up, but it definitely pleases me. So cool.
Is it if I'm remembering correctly, those are RFID protected too, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Very good. And it's metal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Neat.
Yeah. So
everyday carry.
Yes.
Stuff that no one on the internet has opinions about.
Well, I'm not carrying a knife with me. A lot of guys carry, like a pocket knife, or even like a little knife in a holster. I've seen that before. Like, there's some guys that are pretty religious about that kind of stuff. Heck, there's guys that carry like knives in pouches on their waist belt so that they can pull them out real quick. And I'm not that guy, but being able to organize, a wallet, keychain. I also carry my AirPods Pro 2 AirPods Pro 2 with me all the time. So those are I found that they work perfectly in that little 5th pocket. So I carry them in my 5th pocket in my pants, and works really well. So, and that's everything I carry with me on a daily basis. So
there you go.
Yeah. Nothing in your back pockets. I'm one of those guys. Nothing in your back pockets. Because if you're sitting on something, it's misaligning your spine and causes pain eventually.
I carry my microfiber glasses cleaner in my back pocket because it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But a lot of people will carry like this big nasty wallet in their back pocket, and then you're like sitting on your. Yeah, that's not good for your back. So it's not good for your butt either. So it's not good for anything. I don't understand people with big wallets that they feel like they keep all their receipts in their wallets.
Yeah, this one's from 1996. You never know.
Yeah, might need to return that. Anyway. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for today. It's been fun. It's good to get back together with you and talk technology. So
agreed.
I'm really looking forward to a few different shows that are coming up in the next few months that I'm sure we're going to want to talk about. There's a new Star Wars show that's going to be coming out, I think, in December, the Skeleton Crew, which looks fun. Looks a little bit less serious and more fun.
Is that one animated?
No, it's got Jude Law and then a bunch of kids.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yep. Okay.
So gotcha. A bunch of kids hop in a ship and end up going into space and get lost, and then Jude Law plays a Jedi that meets up with them, and then they're trying to get him home. It's been compared to a Star Wars version of like Goonies. So So it should be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I love Chewie.
Yeah. But that should be fun. Severance is coming back the first part of next year with a new season. You enjoyed Severance, didn't you?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you
I
haven't?
know that you've told me it's really good, and I just haven't.
It is worth the watch.
Isn't Silo 2 season 2
Silo's supposed to be coming out. Season 2 is. They've been running trailers for that. I don't know what the date is on that, but those are all slated to come out probably the first part of next year, I think. So yeah, so we'll definitely take an opportunity to talk about those on the show. So
yes, should be. I'm looking at my there's a new show coming out called The Day of the Jackal on Peacock that looks pretty interesting. It's got Eddie Redmayne in it, and a couple other people that you'd probably recognize, but it's like he's a British assassin, and it's about him getting chased down by a really smart intelligence officer. But it looks interesting.
Very cool. All right. Well, I think we can wrap her up for today.
Yep.
I'm not sure how to tag it out if we're not going to be doing the podcast much longer, but we do still have innerdialogue.show. Maybe we'll have to redirect that to the YouTube page. Or if we don't keep it, that's fine too. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
That's your domain. But
we'll talk about it.
But we'll figure out what we want to do there. And then if you do want to check out innerdialogue.show, it's still up there, so you can check out that. That's on my website. And of course, I'm at mitchcraig.online for the moment, so you can check that out. Cam, where can people find you?
CamBrennan.com.
Very good. All right, sir. It's been fun. Hope you've had fun as well.
Oh, always.
All right, excellent. So those of you on YouTube, thanks for joining us. Those of you who listening to the podcast, thanks for joining us today. And we'll see you back here next time. Later.
Adios.